Um, Hello, our dear viewers. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to start with testing of laboratory compounds, mainly cations. And today we are going to look at testing for lead ions in the laboratory, or how we can test for lead ions in the laboratory. With me here are test tubes, which I have all filled with a solution, which we presume is containing lead ions or lead 2 ions. And we are going to do our tests and see if we're in the laboratory, what do we expect to get from these observations. So I will start with 2 molar sodium hydroxide solution as the analyte or the testing solution reagent. So in this test tube, I will add drops of sodium hydroxide and we see what happens. First drop wise, and then we shall see what happens in excess. So here is my sodium hydroxide. When you add, you can see just a small drop we get a white precipitate. That is on addition of few drops. So that means in lead ions, when we add sodium hydroxide, we get a white precipitate. So I will add this sodium hydroxide until in excess. As you can see, the white precipitate has dissolved. So our observation, lead ions, addition of sodium hydroxide, we get a white precipitate, which is soluble in excess to form a colorless solution. Next, I'll try this with ammonia solution, and we shall see what happens with ammonia solution. So I will use my next analyte solution, and I'm going to add ammonia solution to this. So when I add ammonia solution, we can see or observe that I also get a white precipitate. So when I add ammonia solution to lead ions, I get a white precipitate. So like we did before, I will add in excess. As we can see, on addition of excess, the precipitate persists. So that means we shall say that our observation is a white precipitate insoluble in excess. Next, we are going to test this same solution with a solution of dilute sulfuric acid, and we shall see what happens, or we confirm, or we see what takes place. So I will add a few drops. When I add sulfuric acid, I also see a white precipitate. So lead ions add sulfate ions, or today we have used sulfuric acid, but we can use any type of sulfate, maybe barium sulfate, sodium sulfate, as long as we have sulfate ions. So this one we shall not add until in excess, just the white precipitate is enough. It tells us that there is presence of lead ions. Next, I will add hydrochloric acid. Sorry, I do not have a dropper for this one, but we shall also see what happens on addition of a few drops. Similar, we see a white precipitate with hydrochloric acid or chloride ions. So lead ions and chloride ions, we also observe a white precipitate when added to lead ions. So in our analyte solution, we have lead ions, we have added dilute hydrochloric acid, and we have observed a white precipitate. Next, lastly, what we can say, so all these test tubes, all the observations we have seen confirm to us that we are dealing with lead ions. However, we have one which we can take as the confirmatory test. So that is when we add potassium iodide solution. Let's observe and see what happens when we add potassium iodide solution to a solution containing lead ions. So we shall add just 2 to 3 drops. Oh, we can see we are forming a yellow precipitate. So on addition of potassium iodide, we observe a yellow precipitate, and this serves as a confirmatory test. So after doing these all preliminary tests, and we add a precipitate of, we add potassium iodide to lead ions, we shall see a yellow precipitate, and this confirms presence of lead ions. So I want to thank you for watching this video. Thank you. I would like to request you to subscribe, like, and share, and stay tuned for my next chapter of the videos, as we have started the series of testing for compounds or analytics in the laboratory. Thank you.